Hey, Gene.
Oh my God.
Yep.
It's another show.
Yep. It's us
It's
again.
another show. Arthur's coming up the hill. Watch out for the pterodactyls.
Pterodactyl.
That's a $10 word.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out when we get up there. All right, let's go, William. All right, well, watch this, Gene. We've been practicing. You ready? Here we go.
Do you hear it? Do you hear it?
Look at that. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Way to go,
Really?
William. Yeah.
Whoa, did you hear that pterodactyl?
No. Where?
Oh my God.
What?
Listen. Well, it's gone.
It's gone?
now.
It's gone now?
It's gone.
What do you got up here?
I don't know, but I've been hearing this.
Oh,
Periodically, randomly, and
Are
we
you-
may hear it randomly throughout the show.
Are
I'm
you-
not sure what it is, Arthur.
Are you babysitting another bird, Gene? Is that what's going on?
I'm kind of scared.
Oh, no.
I think it's a.
What?
I mean,
Yeah, what
it's
is it?
coming from they have the rainforest, like when they call to each other.
Oh, that's on the other
They
side
can
of
call to a bird
That's on the other side of the studio. Hey,
2 miles away. 2 miles away, they can make that noise. And get
are you
there.
serious? 2 miles?
Seriously.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to see what's the name of the pterodactyl?
It's Bella the macaw.
Bella the macaw.
She's in our studio today, wanting to be interviewed.
Oh, maybe you should bring her in.
We decided she was too noisy, so we left her on the other side of the building because
Yeah, she's over at Jurassic Park.
she sounds like it. Oh my God.
You ought to hear this
But
thing.
she talks 7 different languages, none
What?
of which you can understand. But she speaks the English language. She speaks the English language very fluently.
Gene, I speak 120.
And we will post a picture.
I speak 120 languages, and you can't understand any of them either.
It's kind of like the many levels of snoring that my husband does. There's like 50,000 varieties.
How in God's name did we get on this? Oh, don't start. Jody will come on the air. She'll tell you about my snoring episodes.
I can only imagine.
Oh, jeez.
I can only imagine, Arthur.
All right, okay. Well, somebody
We should have a
What?
snoring contest. Have
Snoring?
everybody call in
No.
with their...
No, unfortunately, I would win hands down on that. Let's not do that.
I didn't know about that.
God. Anyway, somebody was complaining. Well, wait a minute. Expressing their opinion that perhaps that we bantered too much, and they wanted to get to the meat of the show. So
You know what I was thinking? I think we in our banter, we should start reading the comments that are coming in on our show.
Oh,
so everybody
yeah.
gets credit
that's
for
a
what
great
they
idea.
say.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So
all of a sudden you'll hear silence. People say. So if you
So
don't
if you
want
could go to that
yeah,
particular
I'll have to
arena and start reading to us some of the comments, I think the audience would love to hear what people have to say.
All right, next show.
And you know what? We don't care if it's good or bad or indifferent. We just want to hear from you.
Yeah, next show.
Talk to us.
I'll do it next show. I
This is
promise.
how you get to know America,
Or at least our little slice of it.
Yeah, a little slice of it. Next show, I'm going to pull it up now and start reading some of the comments.
Oh, gosh. We got a great
Next
show. Come on, I want to get to the
Can
meat.
you believe he just said that?
What?
Why, we got lots of meat, but you know what I mean. It's like, come on, let's get the audience participating, and when we read their comments, that is a group,
Okay. All right, fine.
therapy session.
I don't know where they are.
Trek Upward Radio Show needs a little therapy.
What? No, I don't think the show
And
needs
people's
therapy.
comments are our therapy.
Maybe you and I
know?
do, but not the show.
We are the
Oh,
show.
wait a minute. I went to YouTube to look for this thing, and I'm watching a commercial. And so I can't believe it. We can't even get to YouTube now without having commercials thrown in our face. So this is...
Okay, while you're going to YouTube, I got to tell you something.
All right, go ahead.
Everybody has been a media mania on picking on Trump. And I am laughing all the way to the bank because this man is playing a chess game. He is brilliant. And listening audience, listen. You've got to read behind the lines or between the lines. where Trump is concerned. The reason that every day he is saying the most politically incorrect, almost rude, amazing, can you believe he just said that comment, is so the media will keep talking about him. We have the Clinton machine who owns the media. You know, CNN is really Clinton Network News, some of the other stations as well. And you'll notice that everything they're saying about Clinton these days, even on Fox News, which is supposed to be a Republican channel, is so sweet. And everything about Trump is, can you believe what he said to the con man? Well, let me tell you about the con man. He's a lawyer that works for the Clinton machine, and he had a website that is now down and doomed. And on that website was his practice. His practice is bringing immigrants into America. Can you believe that?
I do.
Arthur?
Yes, I do. Yep.
But did you hear that anywhere on the media until just yesterday? So for a week we had to hear this nonsense.
All right, so here's let me recap this if you haven't put the pieces together. Basically what's happening is Trump goes in there, makes a comment, stirs up the pot about this guy, but at the same time is able to expose the fact that this guy is actually working to bring forth these immigrants in because of his his lawyer kind of work. And so as a result of that, it's pandering to the same thing that the Clintons are talking about and the DNC is talking about in the elections. So in other words, he's being exposed for what he is because Donald steps up and makes some kind of a weird comment which gets everybody's attention because otherwise it would not be exposed. Do I have that right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
And he does this every day on many different politically incorrect fronts. He will insult so many different situations, and it's the only way that he's going to get any attention on the media. Otherwise, nobody knows. And so the funny thing about it is that I believe he's playing a chess game on purpose. He's making these left field, bizarre, loud, and rude comments to get people to listen. So please take the time to listen to a complete rally he does, and that will expose to you the cut and pasting that's going on in our mainstream media and even in the cable medias. You know, they're cutting and pasting his comments and making them sound like they are something they're not. And I mean, it's amazing to me. This man is so brilliant in branding.
Well,
wow.
I saw this and noticed that when the Republican National Convention was finished and Trump's picture was shown as he is now the nominee after his acceptance speech, and so he was given a little bit in the press, you know, a picture on the front page, but it wasn't very big. There were other articles and things that were around it. Now, when the same thing happened to Hillary, it was as if World War II had ended. There was a picture splattered across from top to bottom on the newspaper that covered the entire width and breadth of the newspaper on the front page that was so in your face. And so if you can't see how the press is
and
being
she looks like the Wicked Witch of the West from Wizard of Oz. I put that on my Facebook. I couldn't believe it.
Follow the yellow brick road.
I'm sorry.
Follow
you know,
the
we
yellow
should
brick
not
road.
be so mean.
Oh,
I
who is
know.
you're mean with her?
Do that again. Do that again.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
Are you a good witch? Are you a bad witch?
I'm a good witch.
Okay, mechanization concept. I got to talk about this. The mechanization concept is a concept that the ascended masters, who are our brethren who have ascended to from Earth's schoolroom and have made their graduated. And so those are the saints of East and West that we all know and love, and those that have made
Which you and I need to do. We need to graduate.
We all need to graduate and move on. Anyway,
everybody on this planet needs to graduate. Grow up.
They gave
wake up.
They gave us an understanding that we've had shows where we talked about the game being rigged, and the whole interaction of people, the press, everything else that we see on a day-to-day basis, the newspaper, the banking, everything else that has been put in place for the most part has been manipulated or changed, and they call that a mechanization concept. In other words, we react based on human principles to what we see each day. So, We think
Programming.
right. So we think that what we get from the press, from CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, any of the other major media outlets, is what we're supposed to be doing and is the truth. Folks, it is not. So you have to raise up in consciousness and look at it for what it is and see the manipulation. And if you do that, then you'll understand what this guy Donald Trump is doing, because this guy is a master at reading and working with the manipulation to his favor.
He's a visionary. He's a visionary. This is the only way he could get into the door, was to use this technique. The only way. And he's continuing it. He's constant with it. He started from the get-go, from June, when he walked down that
It was the only way he could get
elevator with Melania.
Yeah, it was the only way he could get any kind of media attention during the primaries. He had to be able to come up and make a comment that got everybody going, what? What did he say? And when they did
but
that,
it gets everybody thinking about it.
Exactly. And so as a result of that, he was able to get press. Now, unfortunately, sometimes it can come across as a little terse or would appear to be a case, but he's not going to get press unless he does something drastic. So you can think of him as like almost like the shock jock of politics.
Well said. Well
Thank you
said.
very much.
But it's hilarious to me. If anybody had any common sense, you would see it, because it's a repeated theme every single day. Every day it's something. Oh, he called a baby. This is the new one. He told a baby to get out of his rally. Oh my God, he did not. I don't know. You just got to follow the news. It's hilarious what they pick up and blow up. And it's perfect, because Trump said in his rally last night, which was packed, and they all are packed. There are thousands and thousands of people that go to these rallies. The news is not reporting it. I went to his rally. I saw him in action, and I was totally inspired. So he's got somebody upstairs sponsoring him, and a Cinemaster, maybe several Cinemasters, maybe a lot, maybe Saint Germain. He's the great master of the Aquarian age. Jesus was the master of the Piscean age. Now we're entering into the Aquarian age. We're at the very beginning of it, which is a whole new story. And Saint Germain is, look him up, Comte de Saint Germain. Look him up. Find out about him. Google him. He's amazing.
And what is the cycle that governs the new ages? The ages changing? Precession of the equinoxes, right?
You want to get into a little astrology session here,
that's
huh?
right. Well, come on. That was a little quiz. I caught you at a bad time.
I know, but it was also a hint.
Yeah, that's
a hint
right.
that I need to mention some astrological things that are going on.
Yeah, what's going on?
Truly. Get ready, you guys. Mercury's getting ready to go retrograde in Virgo, of all places. Now, I need to say that Virgo rules soldiers, armies, the police officers, the
military,
the uniform itself. And so it makes me really nervous. It probably rules the what are those soldiers called?
Mercenaries?
My brain is going
mercenaries
blank today. No.
What?
The soldiers with the blue caps, the One World Army. What is that called?
What? The One World Army?
Is that what they're called?
Are you talking about you're talking about NATO?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, all kinds of soldiers. I don't know what direction it's going to come from, but Mercury going retrograde means, there's going to be some news and acceleration with that subject. The good news is that Mars is finally out of Scorpio. That's why it's been quiet the last couple of days. Have you noticed there's actually not been any blood, guts, and gore on the world scene too much at all? Not noticeable?
Oh, it just means it's behind
So
the
that's
scenes.
because finally, huh?
It just means it's behind the scenes.
Yeah, but finally the worst of that, which we've been pumped with for the last 4 months because of Mars' transit through Scorpio and the fact it went retrograde and direct, it's done. It was done August 2nd. You've noticed toward the end of the month it started, wow, we're not actually going to turn on the TV and see, the world has been destroyed. Every day,
By God's
just about,
grace.
it was something.
Jeez, by God's grace.
But it was really interesting, too, the timing of some of that, because whenever Trump would be up to something would distract. We'd have some sort of, apparent mess somewhere in some country that attracted the media's attention. But when Clinton interesting enough, right after hers, nothing happened. It was quiet. Quiet, quiet, quiet. So, again, we're talking about Mussolini and embodiment. She's, I don't know. Look at those two pictures. What do you think? Did we get any comments on those two pictures from our last show? We put a picture of Mussolini and a picture of Clinton up.
Well,
and we put a picture of Patton.
We've gotten some,
Trump.
we've gotten some hits. I mean, people are definitely listening to the show, but we haven't received too many comments about it. But I'm thinking that everybody
But any comments? Give me some comments.
Well, I can't.
There's got to be some comments because I've seen a million comments because I've written back to the people. But anyway, and here's another thing that I'm really, really, really concerned about, and that is the Clinton's control of the voting machines. And when I say Clinton's control, I mean George Soros backs her. George Soros is the one who built a lot of these voting machines throughout America, and they are rigged. They are rigged big time. They're rigged to such an extent that you can vote, 100 people can come in and vote, and only one vote registers. They showed this on the morning show, Joe's morning show on Fox and Friends, and I thought, my God, that's the first time I've ever heard anyone talking about this. And I've known this for a long time, that those voting machines are rigged. And in a lot of states, you don't have to even register to vote.
Well,
you can just walk in with your busload of immigrants and vote, and then go to another station and vote again.
The actual programmers spoke in front of Congress and actually relayed that in Congress. And if you look out on YouTube, you can see where they're actually sitting before the Senate committee. I think it was the Senate.
When?
House. Oh, this was
when?
Over a year ago.
Yeah, well,
you didn't hear it in the press.
That was a year ago.
Well, you didn't hear it in the press, but the programmers one of the programmers that actually worked on it said that he had built back doors in there specifically to modify the code so that it would miscount. He talked about it in front of Congress. I actually heard him say it. And so
oh my God.
Really? What? So the press doesn't.
We need to.
So the press doesn't.
If it's on YouTube.
Hang on a minute. So the press is not covering any of this, folks. This is where the problems are. The press is not showing what the press needs to see. So you go out there and think that what we're receiving is the truth. It is not the truth. It is manipulated. It comes to us. It's all editorialized. There are 5 companies that control it. We've talked about this in a past show. So what happens is when the press puts out a news article that they deem worthy, it will show up on API, it'll show up on UPI, it'll show up all the way around the United States in the affiliates stations. So if ABC prints, you'll see it on CBS, you'll see it on ABC, you'll see it on NBC, you'll see it on CNN, you'll see it on Fox News. All the local stations will carry it, and the next thing you know, oh my God, everybody's seeing the same issue. So this is where the mechanization it comes into this, is that we have to stop saying mechanically, this is where we're going to receive our information. You get it from your God within, and you get it directly with your direct connection. So,
well, you're hypnotized by all of this.
Yeah.
It's the great con job.
It is.
It is the great con scheme of the century.
Exactly.
And Smith Goes to Washington, I think, was a classic movie that the producer of that movie had vision and saw this, in the future happening.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington with Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart, yeah. I can't believe when I just watch certain people sit behind the television, they're gone. They're totally sucked into the television. They become one with the television, and everything that is said, you have to wait until the television's turned off before you can... It's crazy.
Yeah, hey, for those out there that are sci-fi fans, right, whoever saw the movie The Matrix, you remember The Matrix years ago? And
I just remember the blue pill.
It was the blue.
I saw it once, and
the blue and the red pill. Well, I actually saw it again just recently, and it was the red pill was the one that gave him the truth, and the blue pill was the one that just said forget it. But the concept is still the same, and the concept is. Boy, you talk about a mechanized concept. That movie was showing you what mechanization concept is actually looking like. So in the movie, for those that have never seen The Matrix, people are living their life. You think that they're just on a day-to-day basis. You see, people walking to work, and it's about this guy, Anderson, who's going to work. And, he's a programmer. He's actually a hacker. And they're trying to reach him. And what you come to find out is that the whole thing is an illusion, that the world is actually an illusion, and that the true world behind it is very scary, and that they are manipulated and controlled. So, hello, it's pretty close to reality. It's quite a story. So if anybody feels brave enough to attempt it, go ahead and watch at least the first Matrix.
As we talk about the media, I got to make one more comment.
What's that?
Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, my buddy.
He just got a new contract for 4 years, and I'm like, how come we don't have a contract yet?
It's because
you broadcasting stations out there,
right? We're sitting here.
We're like the best.
We're sitting here dissing CNN, NBC, MSNBC, and we expect to get a contract from one of these guys. I don't think so. We need a miracle.
Well, Rush, listen to me.
Well, he doesn't say anything.
Rush is supposed to be
He doesn't say anything that challenges.
He's supposed to be a conservative.
No.
He is a plant.
Totally. So is, and I hate to say this, but so are guys like Sean Hannity. And
Glenn Beck has gone completely psycho.
Seriously. So what they do, again, it's the game. So
I think he fasted too long.
What they set up.
He fasted too long, and it did something to his brain.
They set up the Republicans versus the Democrats, and these guys are just feeding that same beast over and over again. So they'll say, oh, no, the Democrats do this, and oh, no, the Republicans do that. But the people at the top that are manipulating this are carrying the purse strings. They're the ones that have both sides controlled. So you have the Sean Hannity.
Traitors. They're all traitors.
Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, and who's the other one?
No, I don't know. Hannity is pretty...
No.
I got to defend Hannity.
No.
Because he at least allows some of these things to get out. He's one of the first that let the con story get out.
Do you think he said anything about the people that have disappeared just lately that knew the Clintons? Do you think he said anything about what's happened?
This lady says that 5 people recently were
just disappeared.
Killed.
Boom, bye-bye.
Just disappeared.
Tip of the iceberg, folks.
She's pointing at the Clintons. I mean, what a horrible, scary thing.
No, so
I'm not saying anything negative about Clintons ever again. My mouth is sealed. I do want to live.
Yeah, ditto. But why is it the way it is? Go check it out. Who knows?
I'm kidding, but
So there we are.
Well, because she has a record of doing that, as what's his story, Mussolini? What is his story? Tell us.
Do you want me to tell you about his story? Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's a confession corner time. I have a confession to make. I made a comment about Mussolini one time, and I was incorrect, and I need to correct that now. Mussolini was not strung up with his wife by a mob in Italy in World War II. It was his mistress that he was strung up with. Yep. So Clara, somebody or other, I believe, Petacci, I think was her last name. So he was actually strung up by the mob with his mistress, not his wife. So, with that said, all right, Mussolini actually was kind of a puppet government, pretty typical European problems, run-ups to
Italian,
World War II.
Wasn't he?
Yes, he was Italian. And so all of Europe was experiencing the problems. Not only Germany was experiencing them, but also Italy and various other European countries. And that's why these guys were able to take power and grab hold. And he did a similar kind of thing that Hitler did over in Italy. And he gained, reigns of power and set himself
Hitler
up.
wasn't in Italy. Hitler was in Germany.
Yes, of course.
You said Italy.
I'm sorry. I meant to say Mussolini did in Italy what Hitler did in Germany. So it was a similar type of thing that Hitler had done in Germany. And so what happened was Mussolini got himself set up, and this was from the course of the late 20s all the way through the 30s, which was very typical of what was going on in Germany at the time. And he set himself up for that and started to make a connection with the fascists in Germany because his government was also fascist. So he liked the connection. Now, where Mussolini differed from Hitler, he did not really like what was going on with the final solution and the killing of the Jews. So that was where Mussolini did start to divert from the Germans. But by that time, he was already in bed with them, and it was too late. And he was really unable to get himself extricated. And the Germans had to come down and bail him out a couple times because he got himself in trouble. And then, of course, Patton was part of this. Patton actually had the army that came and invaded Sicily and started to attack. So what Patton did was to come through Tunisia across northern Africa. And if you look at a map, it's just a jump across the Mediterranean to go up into Italy. And who was it? Patton. George Patton.
Wow.
Yep.
See, they all have karma together.
Yeah, totally.
And now we have Patton through Trump.
Oh, whoa, my God. What was that it? The pterodactyl?
That was it.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jurassic Park. Please go.
But no, think about this. Patton and Trump, Clinton and Mussolini, they still have this karma.
Yeah.
God only knows.
Oh,
I know that Hitler went to his second death, so he's not around anymore.
No.
And what is the second death? It is a place that you go after you've had many, many, many chances, many forgiveness, many opportunities to embrace your God, to become one with your God, to bend the knee. And he had many lifetimes, and he chose not to. The Court of the Sacred Fire is where you stand before the great spiritual hierarchy of this planet, the great karmic board, and they decide that all your energy needs to be reformed and start all over again as a new atom, cell, and electron. So you lose your complete identity and you become a new, brand new form to go out into the world and hopefully make the evolutionary, right decisions.
You start over. It's just the slate is wiped clean. That's it. Your identity is gone. Your karmic patterns, your records, it's all returned to the flame. And that's what the fallen angels are extremely concerned about. They're concerned about that.
We're up on a mountain, and we're away from all sound. We're 5,600 feet, and a plane just went by. Did you hear that?
No, I heard the pterodactyl though.
Oh my God.
Actually,
Anyway.
when I flew into Bozeman one time, I could see the valley, and I could see the studio at 5,600 feet from that aircraft. So I'm not surprised. It's a flight going into Bozeman.
Yeah, it never happens, so it's usually so quiet. That's why we have the studio up here.
Okay. Well, anyway, so if we're watching Trump, read between the lines.
Read between the lines, because I tell you,
Yep.
Trump is Trumpsting. No, he's a Trumpster. He is our Trump card. He is our hero. He is taking a lot of flack from many different walks of life, and he's standing up, and it's bouncing right off of him because he has a shield impenetrable by the protection of Archangel Michael and the light. Pray for him. Call to Archangel Michael to stand where he is to protect him.
And everybody else that's going to make a stand against.
Pterodactyl.
Right, there's the pterodactyl. Quick. My God, Gene, I got to get out of Jurassic Park here.
William, come and get Arthur.
Oh, my God. Jeez.
Here's a carrot.
Oh, he likes that. Well, Gene, we better get going here. So, everybody, no mechanization, right? Question.
Right.
Question.
Don't believe anything the media says.
Yes.
Do not believe the media. They're a bunch of liars.
Please do your own research. Take it with a grain of salt. There's always an agenda. Well, Gene, we're out of here. We're going to go down the Immigrant Mall. Do you want anything?
I want carrot juice.
Carrot juice. Here we go again. All right. I saw a picture of your daughter on Facebook. She didn't look pink.
She was pink when she was born, though.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
2 quarts of carrot juice every day.
Yeah, we found out.
And the first thing the
about
doctor said was, "Oh my God, I can't believe how pink this baby is."
Yeah.
So
All
I'm
right.
trying to turn pink again.
Let's go, William. We're out of here. Bye, Gene.
Babble, babble. Bye, William.
Let Gene do an astrology consultation for you, your family, or your friends. Go to astrologygenehart.com or give her a call or text her at 1-406-599-3934. There are powerful spiritual tools available to help you deal with planetary and personal challenges, and these can be found at prophecyisgiven.com. And be sure to visit our website at thetrekupwardradioshow.com or stop by on Facebook at www.facebook.com/trekupward, and be sure to hit like on our page, or visit YouTube and search for the Trek Upward Radio Show. Be sure to subscribe so you do not miss another episode of the Trek Upward Radio Show. The Trek Upward Radio Show is a studio at 5,600 feet production.